Lewd clinical lecturers propose indefinite strike on Monday. Court dismisses suspended Adamawa INEC Rex bid to halt trial. Petron sees lower petrol prices as Port Harcourt Warri refineries come on stream. On a foreign scene, Burundi warns DRC fighting can spark regional war. Good evening and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us. Clinical lecturers at the College of Medicine, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, have announced an indefinite strike from Monday, February 3rd, over the non-payment of their Consolidated Medical Salary Structure (CONMENS). Under the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, MCAN, the lecturers say their demands for salary alignment have been ignored despite a 21-day ultimatum to universities in the Southwest. In a statement by MD Khan LUTH Chairman Kehinde Okwade and Secretary Olukayode Akimola, the association confirmed that all academic activities involving clinical lecturers would be suspended, including lectures, tutorials, student rotations, assessments and examinations. MD Khan has been pushing for the full implementation of CONMENS for all medical and dental specialists in universities. The association is also demanding payment of outstanding clinical duty allowances and arrears from 2023 and 2024. The lecturers are urging the university management to resolve the issue promptly to avoid prolonged academic disruptions. Over in Adamawa State, the High Court has dismissed an application filed by the suspended resident electoral commissioner (REC) of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Hudu Yunusa Ari, seeking to stay proceedings in the substantive case instituted by the Adamawa State government. In a ruling delivered by Justice Benjamin Lawan Manji, the court held that it lacks the discretion to entertain Hudu's application, which was filed through his counsel MK Tijani. Tijani had argued that the court should adjourn the case pending the determination of an appeal heard by the Yola Court of Appeal on January 21, 2025. However, counsel to the state, LD Zadon, opposed the application, citing Section 307 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Adamawa State 2018. Zadon submitted that the section clearly prohibits the court from entertaining applications that seek to hold proceedings in criminal matters. Justice Manji agreed with Zadon's submission, stating that the grant or refusal of the application is a matter of discretion for the court to exercise judicially and judiciously. Still on litigation matters, the trial of the former Acting Accountant General of the Federation, Chukwunyere Nwaboko, commenced on Friday, with prosecution counsel Ekele Ihanocho presenting two witnesses. Witnesses told the court how money was allegedly siphoned from the Ministry of Defense into multiple accounts set up by the defendant. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) is prosecuting Nwaboko on a 9-count amended charge of money laundering amounting to over 860 million naira. The defendant was a former Director of Finance and Accounts at the Federal Ministry of Defense. One of the witnesses, Ukeria Zobi, a Zenith Bank staff, told the court that she opened 4 company accounts for contractors working with the Defense Ministry, adding that significant sums were withdrawn in cash from these accounts, allegedly benefiting the defendant. The second witness was Felix Nweke, the Deputy Director of Accounts and Expenditures under Nwaboko's supervision. He told the court that the defendant instructed him to open the 4 accounts, adding that funds were transferred from the Defense Ministry's Security Operation account to the company accounts and were later withdrawn in cash and handed over to Nwaboko. The need to ensure that criminal cases are speedily addressed to reduce the number of prison inmates awaiting trial in Gombe State has been stressed. According to stakeholders, 90% of the state's prisoners awaiting trial are facing criminal charges. Hence, judiciary experts are urging the executive to employ and train more law officers to handle the cases. Hassan Kohli has more.
In 2024, Gombe State experienced a significant criminal cases leading to a backlog of cases yet to be attended to. According to the Chief Registrar of the Gombe State High Court, Bello Sharif, 90% of inmates awaiting trial in the state's prisons are involved in criminal cases, a situation he described as worrisome.
Most of the cases are being recorded by our courts, particularly criminal cases. Our cases are given source for concern. Source for concern in the sense that when you go to the prison, you discover that most of the inmates awaiting trial are people under the age of 20, 25. Downwards, they constitute more than 90% of the population of the prison. And the number is always increasing. And when we look at it, we discover that most of these people are lacking a lot of things in the society that bring them up. These are situations where you see young men taking drugs freely, consuming hallucinants, capable of destroying the fabric of the society. And these are the targets. These are the youth. This is the target of society.
In response to the growing backlog, the Gombe State Judiciary says it is implementing several reforms aimed at expediting justice delivery. These include comprehensive reforms, infrastructural upgrades, and improved welfare for judicial officers. Despite these efforts, the high percentage of inmates awaiting trial for serious criminal offenses remains a significant concern, highlighting the need for continued reforms and resource allocation to address the challenges within Gombe State's judicial system.
People who are shoulder the responsibility of safeguarding the society should be treated with all the importance they deserve. Because when you call an agency to come for an intervention, take the police for instance, and they do not have vehicle to move or the personnel to deploy, you find that the criminals will have a field day. So I will call that it is important that the training and equipping of those agencies responsible for curbing crime and training them and retraining them is very important. If that is done, I think the society will be safer, and I think the volume of cases will drop.
The Chief Judge of Gombe State, Justice Halima Muhammad, had during a review of the 2024 legal year revealed that a total of 616 cases encompassing civil, criminal and human rights abuses were filed at the State High Court. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Now, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has swiftly responded to a petroleum tanker accident at Goraka along Kaduna Road, deploying tactical teams to prevent a potential fire disaster and control the situation. Following the incident, the NSCDC immediately took action to secure the area and prevent field scooping, which could have led to a catastrophic explosion. This was contained in a statement signed by the NSCDC spokesperson, Babawale Afolabi, on Saturday. According to the statement, the Corps also collaborated with the Federal Road Safety Commission to regulate traffic flow and ensure crowd control. Officials confirmed that the situation was brought under control, preventing any further damage or escalation. Nigeria's Safety Investigation Bureau (NSIB) says the Allied Air Boeing 737-400 freighter that crash-landed at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport on December 11, 2024 was scheduled to collect cargo for the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Bureau stated this in a preliminary report released on Saturday, about 2 months after it commenced an investigation into the incident. According to the report, the aircraft took off from Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos at 09:11 and began its descent into Abuja at 09:44. The aircraft had arrived from Yola earlier in the morning and was scheduled for 6 sectors, namely Lagos Abuja, Abuja Sokoto, Sokoto Abuja, Abuja Yola, Yola Abuja, and Abuja Lagos with the same flight crew. Though all occupants escaped unharmed, NSIB confirmed that the structural integrity of the cabin and cockpit remained. The Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, says petrol prices will crash down following the revival of the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries by the federal government. In a statement on Saturday, Petron National Public and Relations Officer Joseph Obele said contrary to previous doubts, the refineries are now fully operational with Petron members loading petroleum products including DPK, AGO and PMS. He noted that the revitalization of the facilities has numerous benefits, including the eradication of adulterated diesel and kerosene from the market. He regretted that for years the absence of functional refineries led to a proliferation of fake petroleum products, posing significant risk to consumers. Obele stated that the demand for fake products has decreased with the availability of original diesel and kerosene, a situation that has also reduced the risk of explosions and equipment damage. Two more stories. The Commissioner of Police, Akwa Ibom State Command, CP Baba Muhammad Azari, on Saturday led an enforcement team to monitor compliance with the third-party vehicle insurance scheme in the state. Recall that the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, directed all the police commands in the country to ensure that motorists present the third-party insurance certificate of their vehicles to operatives starting from February 1, 2025. Azari, enforcing the directive on Saturday, led senior officers of the command to strategic areas in the state, including Uyo and Ikotekpene. He said the exercise would continue until all motorists have their vehicle third-party insurance certificates. Speaking with journalists shortly after the exercise, Azari expressed satisfaction that a good number of motorists accosted have their valid papers, including the third-party insurance certificate. Azari noted that some vehicles were impounded after the owners failed to present the required papers, said the vehicles would only be released upon presentation of the valid documents with a given time frame. Still on the third-party insurance, the Kaduna State Police has commenced its enforcement of the policy for motor vehicles effective February 1, 2025. A statement issued by the Command's Police Public Relations Officer DSP Mansur Hassan in Kaduna on Saturday said the enforcement is in line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. He explained that the enforcement aimed to ensure compliance with the compulsory insurance policy, which protects road users against liabilities arising from accidents involving insured vehicles. The police spokesperson emphasized that enforcement is necessary to ensure the safety of road users and to reduce the risk of accidents. The command advised vehicle owners and motorists to obtain valid insurance coverage from accredited insurance companies to avoid facing penalties. The Nasarawa State Police Command says it has arrested 12 suspected kidnappers and 29 others for various offenses committed in January. The State Commissioner of Police, Shatima Muhammad Joru, made this known at a news conference on the achievements of the command in Lafia, the state capital. He said some of the arrests were made based on tips they received from the public. The CP cited a case in Akwanga, amongst others, where 3 suspected kidnappers were apprehended and their victim rescued unhurt. According to him, all suspects have confessed to the crime. The Commissioner of Police also disclosed that the command arrested 29 other suspects for various offenses within the period under review.
On 19 January 2025, based on credible information, police operatives intercepted Harun Abdullahi, 33 years, from Mararabad Junction, Karo local government. A search on his vehicle led to the discovery of 5 bags of dry leaves suspected to be Indian hemp. Number 2, arrest of suspected kidnappers and rescue of kidnapped victims. On 18 January 2025, the police received information that Billy Kaswa from Maro village, Okonga local government, had been kidnapped and taken to an unknown location or destination. In response, the operatives from the Gudi, that is the police operative from Gudi division, launched a manhunt for the criminals. The suspects were traced to a forest in Agua So village, Maro, Okonga, where the victim was rescued unharmed. 2 suspects, Ibrahim Samaila, 20 years, and Abdullahi Ilu, 19 years, were arrested while others escaped.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has come under intense criticisms over its operations, which make it look like a revenue-generating agency. In Osun State, residents are complaining that the Corps is more invested in revenue generation rather than its primary mandate. Hamid Oyegbade tells us more in this report.
The primary role of Federal Road Safety Corps in Nigeria is to enforce road traffic rules and regulations to prevent or reduce road accidents. However, most road users say the Federal Road Safety Corps has lost focus and now concentrates more on checking vehicle particulars, doing traffic stops, and imposing fines rather than checking traffic infractions. In Osun State, residents want the Federal Road Safety Corps to stay focused on its core mandate instead of turning into an income generation body.
I think Professor Oliso should, in reflective mode, we understand that road safety lost its mandate long time ago. And as a matter of fact, they become an accuser and a judge on the road. And it's very sad that the mandate is already eroding because they are more in tune with making money rather than solve the problem on our road. It's sad and unfortunate.
I think the primary responsibility of the organization is safety, because that is what is even put in the name, Federal Road Safety Corps. But I think over the years, the agency has derailed, partly playing up more its revenue-generating activities while, slowing down a bit on its duties to ensure safety on the road. Instead of them looking for every means to find faults so as for them to book a motorist, are they not supposed to look for a way of ensuring that people comply with
Federal Road Safety Commission? I think my own observation is that they are more focused on generating fund by asking driver if they are caught now, they will write paper for them to go and pay so amount to bank, instead of them to educate the driver that this is what you do that costs the payment of this particular amount. They will not do so.
But the Federal Road Safety Corps says it does not spend the fine generated from the road and has absolutely no incentive to collect fines that end in the Federation account. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
On the business in the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, has assured that the Apex Bank is determined to curb inflation and stabilize the nation's economy. He said this in Abuja during the Monetary Policy Forum 2025, featuring fiscal authorities, the legislature, private sector, development partners, subject matter experts, and scholars. Speaking on the theme, managing the disinflation process, the Apex Bank boss reiterated that the goal of the CBN is to ensure that monetary policy remains forward-looking, adaptive and resilient. He said the CBN is continuing its disciplined approach to monetary policy, adding that actions taken by the CBN have yielded measurable progress, including relative stability in the FX market, narrowing exchange rate disparities, and a rise in external reserves to over $40 billion as of December 2024. According to him, the Apex Bank is focused on strengthening the banking sector and introducing new minimal capital requirements for banks effective March 2026 to ensure resilience and position Nigeria's banking industry for a $1 trillion economy. On the foreign scene, Burundi's president has warned that escalating conflict in Eastern DR Congo could spark a regional war. The Rwanda-backed M23 group has wrestled control of Goma, the main city in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, and is pushing southwards. The offensive is the latest to scar a region where an estimated 6 million people have died over 3 decades due to conflict. His remarks came as the M23 pushed south towards the city of Kavumu in South Kivu. The city has a strategic military airfield and is where the Congolese army has laid down its defensive line just 40 kilometers north of the South Kivu capital, Bukavu. Burundi had deployed troops in the east of the DR Congo as part of the East African Community Force supporting the Congolese military. Still on the international scene, the United States is set to introduce tariffs of 25% on goods from Mexico and China on Saturday. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed on Friday that the duties and a 10% tariff on Chinese products will take effect. Leavitt said the tariffs were in response to the 3 countries allowing illegal drugs to enter the United States. Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau warned of a forceful and immediate response if the U.S. follows through. Trump originally wanted to introduce the duties on the first day of his presidency, but he then set a deadline of February 1. However, the punitive measures could be averted by last-minute negotiations. And in sports, Yusuf Abdullahi has completed a move to Nigeria Premier Football League NPFL side Plateau United from Kano Pillars. Abdullahi joined the Peace Boys on loan until the end of the 2024-2025 season. The 19-year-old winger failed to command a regular playing spot at Kano Pillars as he made 2 appearances for the Sai Masugida before the switch. He's expected to make his debut for Plateau United in the Matchday 22 clash against Shooting Stars on Sunday. Abdullahi has represented Nigeria at the under-20 level. And that concludes News Update at this time. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, so follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Good evening.